About it.
I am the fucking Han Solo of whiskey podcasting, so that does track. Welcome, one and all, to the K.O.E Nation for a very special review of Golden Sheaf Rye Whiskey. Folks, I am your King of Extreme, Phil K.O.E, the man of the hour, the man with the power, the man that makes the other podcast cower. You can, of course, find me at K.O.E Nation on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. And I am joined this evening by my indomitable broadcast partner, the one, the only,
Non-chill filtered, quadruple distilled, rye loving motherfucker, Tony fucking G. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me at TikTok, Tone of the Rod 2.0. And yes, it is time for one that I have been eagerly anticipating. Oh, baby, it's been sitting on my shelf for, I don't know, probably a month at least now, just staring at me. Golden Sheaf Rye Whiskey.
Ah, yes. Authentic old-style rye out of Omaha, Nebraska. Batch number 1, bottle number 226 of 825. So I really like how super small batch this stuff is. So you kind of feel like you're getting in on something special.
Oh, I have a feeling it's going to be plenty special.
All right. Let's see how it sounds on the pop.
Marvelous.
Got some bass there. And also, see, this is the first time we're both utilizing the Nebraska Bourbon Society glass, which a very special Secret Santa got for me. You are. Goodness gracious. T, I'm going to let old 2020 over here get into the reading while I get into the...
Golden Sheaf authentic old-style bourbon and rye whiskeys were some of the most sought-after spirits during the late 1800s and early 1900s. These super premium whiskeys could be found in most drinking establishments from NYC to San Fran. Golden Sheaf was first produced on a 16-acre conglomerate along the Missouri River in Omaha, Nebraska territory in 1866. Gold medal was awarded at the Trans-Mississippian International Exposition held in Omaha, Nebraska in 1898. At its peak of production, the distillery produced upwards of 13,000 gallons of spirits daily and was responsible for generating more than 90% of the state's tax revenue until the onset of Prohibition. Finally, after a 100-year absence, After a 100-year absence, Golden Sheaf was reborn in 2020, continuing with its supreme standard of excellence and quality. Golden Sheaf was awarded a silver medal in the U.S. Open Whiskey Competition at both double platinum and platinum in the 2022 Ascot Awards. We are committed to blending and producing nothing slight of sophisticated, premium, satisfying spirits and experience. We look forward to the journey with you. Cheers, David Markell.
Ah, on the nose, marvelous. I'm just going to say that.
Oh, that is lovely.
It's all the typical rye notes, but the mint isn't overpowering. And
no, there is a heavy apple influence there.
And clove.
Yeah.
Because normally for most rye, it's just mint.
This reminds me a bit of Michter's on the nose. And Bullet. Like
yeah,
a Bullet Michter's.
I was about to say, it, like mixture. At first it's Bullet, but then something actually...
Oh, yeah.
Woodford Rye? Store picks?
Okay.
Now, that one also had like kind of a weird mulberry. So swap out the mulberry for apple.
Okay.
And you're getting closer, so...
Oh, this is going to be delightful, I have a feeling. Hope. High expectations. Haven't had a bad one yet.
I honestly am never as enthusiastic about rye as you are.
True.
Now, granted, I'm a corn farmer, so I'm always like, hey, support your local corn farmers. And yes, in this case, this is literally stuff with Nebraska-made corn. But I have to appreciate the rye here. And actually, I do have some seed rye on one of my fields right now as we speak. So,
finally.
It's got like that rye spearmint. But not caramel apple. But this is going to be very weird and very specific, but I'm right. It's like that mint is sitting on, like on top of it is molasses apple.
Yep. I know
Okay,
what
like
you're saying.
a heavy molassesy apple on top of that mint.
That is largely refreshing. Like, oh, now I want to go back to the nose because that opens you up. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My first thought with this is
Wow.
great cocktail for this would be a whiskey fizz.
Man, that's
2 parts whiskey, 1 part simple syrup, 1 part lemon juice.
Oh.
I've had some people use lemonade for it, which is, you know,
I have a better idea for a cocktail. You take this, 2 parts in one of these glasses, drink it.
you know.
There's
It's not quite brown cinnamon, but there's something adjacent to that that hits the middle of your tongue.
It's like, yeah, it's got a spearmint with like a sugary coating, like a brown sugary coating, like you're saying.
It makes you want to think cinnamon to brown sugar, but you're not quite sure where it is. But it's that kind of like bitter cocoa powder.
54.5, 109. Okay.
Like, you know, like if they've got like kind of cocoa powder that's like 80, 90%, and that's like to the point where you can make bitter chocolates out of it. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting here.
Oh,
Okay.
man,
so this is a rye lover's rye, I'm gonna say.
That's fantastic. I'm loving that. That's really nice. It is pretty overpowering in terms of that rye flavor that you expect to really open up your airwaves, open up your palate. You're gonna get that in tenfold here.
109 proof.
Yeah, 109
so
proof.
54.5% alcohol by volume. So this is, as Jim Ross would say, not for the faint of heart.
No, this is a heavy hitter. And wow, there is a
boy howdy, as Jim Ross would also say.
There's a simple syrup finish, and
I can.
And it's
see
a
that.
specific that I'm trying to pinpoint. I'm fixated on that finish. It's
There's
identical to something
on the palate that neither of us are picking up. But
yeah,
I couldn't. Yeah. Now that's what makes this one kind of interesting to you. I feel like usually it's for an expensive bourbon or an expensive scotch that you kind of sit and, like, rye for me isn't a sit and consider whiskey. Okay, like if a storm is rolling through, like a thunderstorm rolling out my front door, I'll usually pour a nice bourbon because I can actually literally set it out into the rain and get some raindrops to help it breathe, or some scotch. But this is a rye that could actually go to that introspection whiskey,
take a sip, and as the finish hits you, I'm going to reveal it, and you're going to hate me for it. Just simple honeybee honey. The bear honey. Bear bottle honey. You get that flavor. You don't quite get the texture, but in your mind, that flavor is reminding you of that.
Well, that's where I'm kind of getting molasses.
It's not molasses for me. It's honey.
I know, like, yeah, my grandma had a thing of molasses she kept in her kitchen, and it's kind of making me think of that. So I can tell you were raised on the honeybee honey. Mm-hmm. At grandma's house, I had some sort of old-timey molasses. I couldn't tell you what it was if you forced me to give
It's that sweetness, that sticky sweetness on the finish that coats your palate the same way that honey would. Like, obviously, you're not going to get the same texture because honey's incredibly thick, but know that there is something we're missing, though. And let's look it up. I wonder. I'm curious because there's no tasting notes on here. I am quite curious.
Yeah, you looked at, like, now I'm going to say with everything we've had from Golden Sheaf, we've had their bourbon, we've had their rye now, and then we've also had their finished whiskey with James Arthur Vineyard casks. That is cutting above for most things that can say they have anything to do with Nebraska. I'm going to be honest with you, T. This is kind of shocking for me. I think this rye is... I'd have to rank it number 2.
Wow.
It's that... Now, I love it.
Order? What's your order, then?
Finished whiskey with the James Arthur Vineyard port cask.
Oh.
Rye number 2.
Wow.
This bourbon. Now, I love this bourbon. Okay,
Yeah, I do.
I've been, I don't drink very much, like unless I feel like celebrating or it's review night with Tony G here. So the fact that I've got into this is actually kind of a testament. So, and then this is William Lee. You can't blame me for that. Nobody can blame me for that.
Yeah, I think I would agree 100% with that ranking, honestly. And I do love the bourbon as well. The tasting notes on this is coming from sealbox.com. Full of spicy, peppery notes, perfectly balanced with sweet caramel and slight oak. Very simple, very straightforward.
Like, I want to say that like what they're saying is oak to me kind of comes across as like a pseudo leathery with a bit of tobacco influence. So
I'm really liking that a lot.
yeah, that's good. Like
it's really, really
and
good.
like I said, I don't get enthused about ryes. Okay,
No,
like not nearly to the extent you do. Like I'm looking at my top shelf over there and like on my shelves, like there's like 4 ryes. Okay, everything else is bourbons and scotches and brandies and that kind of stuff. But you got a few more ryes.
I love me some rye.
Now, before we get into the grading or anything, I think it just goes without saying, this is going to get entered into the next rye whiskey tournament.
Absolutely.
The 32 rye tournament, whenever Chicken calls it, or if 3 more years passes, because it comes every 4 years like the Olympics, folks. So we're going to see what happens there. Chicken calls rye whiskey tournament tomorrow. Like, you. But so now we move on to the hard part, the grading.
That's so good.
For those who don't know, we grade on a 5-star scale. 5 meaning you have to have it before you shuffle off this mortal coil. 0 meaning pass it on by. The K.O.E Nation has advised you well. So, Tony, we're going to grade this as a rye whiskey. As a whiskey. As a cask-aged spirit, it's shelving. And for those new to the show, the secret 5th question. So, Tony, as a rye whiskey.
Okay. Thought long and hard about
I'm going to be all over the place on this. I'm going to be honest with you.
Why don't you go first on rye?
If I wanted to spoil somebody for rye and have them try a rye that's going to kind of ruin the type for them going forward, because then there's only a handful of ryes are going to after this. This would be where I would start. I'd start off somebody to spoil them. Like if you're going to start them off just regularly, start off with a bullet or something just to give them an idea. But this is exemplary as a rye. So I'm going to give it 4.25 on a 5-star scale. I know that seems a little high, but like I said, I'm going to be all over the place on this one. So, but as a rye, this is an excellent proof of type. If aliens were to land and they were going to be like, Earthlings, show us rye whiskey. Well, okay, these are aliens. I kind of want to treat them. So now I might pull out one of my store picks, but if I don't have one of those handy.
Okay.
That was very descriptive. Tony's like, wow, that's a thing.
Yeah, okay, so that just happened. 4.25.
I feel good about that one.
Good. You're going 4.25. I'm going to go 4.5 as a rye.
Ooh.
This is splendid. This is splendid stuff. I'm digging this, like you said. At 109 proof, this is going to be for somebody who's seasoned in rye and knows what to expect. Like I said, that rye flavor, cup runneth over here. So, yeah, you might want to dabble in some of the nasty shit first, just so you kind of have an understanding where the base is. Then you can work your way up and kind of get, oh my gosh, it gets so much better and better and better. And then something like this lands in your lap. You're like, wow, that's fantastic stuff. This is excellent.
All right, so as a whiskey, Tony, putting it up against all the bourbons, the ryes, the scotches, the Japanese whiskeys, Canadian whiskeys, what have you in the world of whiskey.
The whiskey, I'm going to give it a 3.8.
3.8.
Yes.
As a whiskey, I'm going to give it 3.25 because I'm remembering all the marvelous scotches and such. It's a wide world of sports.
Yeah, but I, like you brought up like Japanese whiskey specifically. I think this would hold its own tenfold in that category. There's not a lot of Irish whiskeys that are going to match the proof on this that would have the same external qualities as one might.
Talk me at 3.5.
There we go.
Okay, like it's because it also makes really well with a lot of stuff. I immediately fired off a cocktail.
Yeah.
And I actually think 7-Up and Sprite and the lighter colas if you were going to mix with cola rather than the darker colas like Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, that kind of stuff. I think this would go better with like a Sprite.
All right.
If you had to. Like, I'm not saying do it, but if you had to, like, I think that's just something that the K.O.E Nation doesn't want, but demands to know. Too. So.
Fine.
Usually you can tell if I don't like a whiskey, I'll have put it down and I won't have touched the glass for the rest of the review. Elijah Craig.
Excellent Key, you piece of shit.
Wow. Tell us how you really feel,
It's a piece of shit whiskey.
Mm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Unlike this is a great whiskey.
Yep. Cask aged spirit on a 5-star scale.
We don't know the age on this. Do we have any subtle idea?
You know, at least more than 2, probably not much more than 5.
Okay. So probably realistically like 3, which is actually pretty impressive given the fact it's 109 proof. The casking is fantastic here. They clearly knew they had something special here. Pulled it out the right time.
Distilled in Kentucky, Indiana, and Louisiana. Bottled by Southwest Beverages in Lincoln, Nebraska.
There you go.
So even more local to us because we're out here in Western Nebraska.
So it's an concoction. So I'm gonna give it.
I mean, as a blend master, you should love it.
I'm gonna give it 3.5 because we don't know just how old it is. We don't really know the exact origins, which doesn't necessarily have to hurt it, but I'd like to see an age statement. I'd like to know kind of the direction and the baseline of can we improve on this? Like already, the marks are spectacular for this. We're loving this. It's delicious. I just like to know where the bar is. So can we move in this direction? Can we tweak it a little bit here? Can we expand the horizon a bit? I mean, I like to know these things when it comes to casking.
I'm trying to think of a wine casking that would work with this, and my first thought is Madeira.
Oh,
because like that's always good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like anything from James Arthur is so sweet that it's just going to immediately kick up the sweet for something like this. So yeah, amazing stuff. But yeah, for cask age, I'm going to agree with you. 3.5 stars.
There you go.
Marvelous stuff. I can't dispute or deny. Now, in terms of its shelving, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to go top shelf conversation piece.
Bam! Top shelf. Go. For one, it presents beautifully.
Yeah, the bottles do present very handsomely, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It does kind of give you that old-timey feel. But also it's kind of like anything from Nebraska. Yeah, you have a local boy conversation piece, and any of these bottles like Golden Sheaf, Loop River, they make great gifts for people who used to live here in Nebraska, but they've moved away and they're back for the holidays. I've actually utilized Loop River as a gift for that purpose and also for friends who are maybe never coming back to Nebraska ever again. So it's a great gift. So that's what I've used this particular for. But if you wanted to get a little more, we'll get into that here in a second. But if you want to get a little more spendy, you could go this route. So now, Tony, the secret 5th question. When this bottle runs empty, will you seek another? What did this bottle run you, USD?
I got this at a pretty good price at just over 100. Typically, you're going to see this probably closer to 120.
Yeah. Most that's about the range for Golden Sheaf is going to be about 99 to 115 bucks, give or take. Now, considering there's only now 824 bottles that we know of out there, probably a few less at this point.
Yeah.
If I see one, I'm probably going to keep one just for like, I'd probably keep it and probably wouldn't open it for some years just for collector's purposes. Just so like, I got one, right when this Golden Sheaf company was getting started, because I see bigger and better things for this particular company. I'm going to be like, when I saw and tasted their James Arthur Vineyard port finished whiskey, is like, okay, these folks get it. Yeah. And David Mark Young, you've done it again. Thank you. So Tony, would you seek this bottle out?
Oh, absolutely. I'm just hoping there's enough left in this bottle when the RYE tournament happens, or we're gonna have to buy another one. I don't know.
Chucky darn.
Yeah.
So folks, as I'm known to say around here,
hang on.
Oh, Tony's doing the rye and bourbon blend. All that being blend. Yeah, I've been holstering that line for a while. Tony is going to give us, you know what, fuck it. No, don't even bother.
I have to know. Done this with the wild turkey, bourbon and rye, to marvelous results.
So
I have to know.
The blend of bourbon and rye from Golden Sheaf. Ooh. Really, it rounds out the rye nose and kind of adds a buttery layer.
Mm-hmm. A lot more bourbon spice, though, now.
I hope.
Also, that's...
And I'm curious, like, where, like, obviously...
107.
Obviously, a magician isn't going to reveal his secrets, but, like, I'm wondering, like, Louisiana, where in the hell, like, where in God's creation this man sourcing whiskey from Louisiana? Like, does he have a cousin that works there or something?
Possibly. Oh, dear God.
That reminds me a lot of that wild turkey rye and bourbon blend you did.
Wow.
Like,
wow. That right there is an A. That is an A blend right there. Oh. That's fantastic. Oh, so sweet.
This is reminding me of a whiskey, and I'm trying to think of what it is.
Just adding caramel layers to everything we just said about this rye. Wow. Cheers.
Oh, this is good. I can't think of what whiskey this is reminding me of. Actually, think of like TX whiskey with, instead of malt, rye and a much higher proof. That's what it is.
I'm specifically thinking of like the rare breed rye and the rare breed bourbon
blends. Oh yeah, that was a great blend.
Wow. That's beautiful. Yeah, that's 3 for 3 on Golden Sheaf. That's excellent.
What do you grade this blend, oh blend master?
A.
I'll agree. This is an A blend.
Wow.
The Golden Sheaf rye blend. A. Not bad. David Mark Young, thank you much, sir, for bestowing this amazing gift upon the world. And T, as I'm known to say around here. All that being said, thank you for joining us here at the K.O.E. Nation for this special review of Golden Sheaf Rye and our impromptu review of their Burr Rye. Folks, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. God bless every last one of you, and I hope all of you make it back here to the K.O.E. Nation happy, healthy, much the wiser. T, take it away.
Good day. Got the blend, got to try some rye. Just everything, just wonderful. Cheers to Nebraska and all of the wonderful people at Golden Sheaf for giving us these wonderful spirits. Catch you on the next one.
Smooths itself out.
Get back, tell you what I'll do. If I ever get back, I promise to refabricate you, raging rivers of gold. That's what the brochure advertised. And now we're lost, we gotta take it down. Let you down slow, it's hard to survive. El Dorado. Oh, Lord. Well, let's see how that one went.
Yeah.